Hi everybody, this is Dan Talks Sense, and today I'm going to be doing a review of a fragrance from the house of Lattafa. This is called Nashama Caprice, and this is a clone or an interpretation of Yves Saint Laurent's discontinued fragrance, Bleu Electrique. So if you want to know more about this fragrance, then please stay tuned. Welcome back. Now I do apologise to my subscribers. I've not dropped content for a while, but it is 2 weeks off for Easter. The weather is pretty dismal in the UK. The reason I'm tan is because I went to Spain. It definitely didn't get this in the UK. Black clouds outside, can't really do a lot, but what I can do is produce some content on something I'm really passionate about, and that is fragrances. Now I've been meaning to do a review of Nashama Caprice for a long time. I've managed to get through almost half of this bottle, and for good reason, and I'm going to explain that in the review today. But I think what will be useful before I get into the review is to do a note comparison between Nashama Caprice and Yves Saint Laurent's Bleu Electrique, just to show you why it's classed as an interpretation, and I'm going to tell you what I think are the differences between the two. Presentation wise, I actually really like the Lattafa bottle. I think the cap is unnecessary. I mean, look how big the cap is, but it is nice all the same, and it looks nice on the cabinet. You can see the juice in there. I have used it a lot, and for good reason. And then you've got the Bleu Electrique bottle next to it. So on Fragrantica, Nashama Caprice gets a rating of 4.38 out of 5 with 1,312 votes. Now according to base notes, the notes for Nashama Caprice, we have lemon, ginger and cardamom in the top, with geranium, mint and lavender in the mid, and amber, patchouli, vetiver and cedarwood in the base. Compare that to Bleu Electrique, where you have bergamot, ginger, green cardamom in the top, geranium and lavender in the mid, and cedarwood and vetiver in the base. And now I've just done a comparison between the two. Now I was pretty chuffed because I was actually the first YouTuber to do a review of Yves Saint Laurent's Bleu Electrique when it first came out, and that doesn't happen often, but I gave it a glowing review. I remember I did it in my back garden. It's really sunny, and it was just an amazing fragrance because I think it captured the original Lamb Wheat de l'Homme DNA but gave a fresher take on there with the citrus notes in there and a bit of ginger. But sadly it got discontinued. A lot of people disappointed by that, but it happens a lot. So I was looking out there for an interpretation of it, a good one, and this one was reviewed quite a bit by YouTubers that I follow. People like Joy Amin did a review of it. It sparked my interest. So I was looking at Fragrantica as well, watched YouTube reviews, and a lot of people said that this was one of the best interpretations of Bleu Electrique. So I got my hands on it, and I managed to pick this up for about £21 off Notino. And when I got it, immediately I was really impressed. I'm going to show you the atomizer as it comes out. Really good atomizer, really good spray. When you first spray it on, I'm just going to compare it on my left hand to my right hand with Bleu Electrique. And they are pretty identical when you first spray them on. When it gets into the dry down, I think that Bleu Electrique has a slight higher quality to it, a little bit richer. Just only a touch though. When you spray them on, you just smell them then. They're pretty identical. The main thing for me with Lattafa's version interpretation, I don't think it's a like for like in terms of 100%. I think they've done a little spin on it. I think it's got more of an apple accord in there. As I was saying, it's got a bit of apple in there. It's got a bit of vanilla, and for me, it's almost the same as Bleu Electrique, but with a little twist. It's their interpretation, and I think it adds something to the fragrance. I've sprayed them both on my hands, and I had to do a cut in the footage because I realised that one of my mics needed charging up a little bit more. But when I sprayed them on my hands, they've been on my hands about an hour and a half now, and the Bleu Electrique, I can barely detect that on the back of my hand. But the Nashama Caprice, it's still going strong on there. It smells really good. What I found is that I get an extra couple of hours out of the Nashama Caprice compared to Bleu Electrique. So in my judgment, if you don't own Bleu Electrique, the original, I would just go straight out there and buy Nashama, because I've looked on Amazon today and it's £23. For me, that is a solid purchase. If you get it for £23, it's generally the same sort of price on Latino as well. I think that is an absolute bargain. When I've looked on the on sales groups, you can pick Bleu Electrique up a full bottle this size, 60ml, usually for about £40, something like that. And I don't think that there is a big enough difference in quality to merit that extra £10-15 to get the Bleu Electrique. For me, this can do that job. When I compare this to the original Lamb Wheat de l'Homme, I haven't found anything that gets close to that star quality of the original Lamb Wheat de l'Homme. I've got the 4-digit batch 9 BAD, and it's just a fantastic fragrance. For me, the best designer date night fragrance ever released, and I totally agree with Jeremy Fragrance on that one. But for this is an absolute solid release from Lattafa. You can see I've really got down that bottle. I wear it in the office on a daily basis in work. It gets me lots of compliments, but I would definitely wear this on a date night because it's going to give off a really good first impression. Just smells so damn good. Doesn't smell cheap to me. There was a little bit extra quality in this compared to the Lattafa, but not a great deal. I just think it smells really good, and enough for me to want to do this review today. I think £23, absolute bargain. The DNA of Lamb Wheat de l'Homme freshened up with the Bleu Electrique, but with the added bit of apple in there for me and a little bit of vanilla, gives you that little bit of a gourmand twist. So yeah, that's my general thoughts on Lattafa's Nashama Caprice. I've not smelled any other interpretations of Bleu Electrique. I am looking for something that can get close to the original Lamb Wheat de l'Homme. So if you know any fragrances out there that do get it spot on or close to it, then please let me know in the comments, because I've read about Ted Lapidus' Poker Face. There's a Fragrance World interpretation of Bleu Electrique that I need to get my hands on as well. But so far, this is the best interpretation that I found, and I would definitely advise you to go out there and grab it if you can. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you all very soon.